Welcome back to Snippet Coder, and we are back with another video, and this is the third video of our Grocery App Flutter and Node.js series. In this video, we will learn how to create product API using Node.js, and we will also integrate the parent-child concept of categories and product in this video. So this is a Swagger, and here you can see we have the product API, and our first API get all product, and here you can see we have the parameter for product name, then we have the parameter for category ID, then we have the parameter for page number and the page size, and on the basis of that it will return us the data. Then we have the create product API, and there we are passing product name, category ID, then we have the product short description, then we have the product description, product price, product sale price, product SKU, that will be the unique ID of any product. Then we have the product type, like it will be a simple product or it is a variable product. Then we have the product image here. So next API is product detail based on the product ID, and here we have to pass the product ID. It will show us the product detail of that particular product. Then we have the update product, and here we have to pass the product ID, then we have to pass the other information, product name, product description, product price and everything. Then we have the delete request, and there we are passing the ID of the product, and on the basis of that ID it will delete the product from our database. So before starting the video, if you are new to our channel, subscribe the channel by clicking on the subscribe button and click the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos. Thank you. So first of all, we have to create a model file, and for that we have to go to our model folder. Inside that we have to create new file, that is product.model.js file, and here we have to write the code. First we have to import that mongos is equal to require mongos. Then here we have to create constant product is equal to mongos.model, and here we have to give the name of that model, and that is product. And here we have mongos.schema. Now we have to create the schema here, and here we have our first variable, that is product name, and it will be of the type string. Then we have the required true, and we will make it as a mandatory field. Then we have the unique true, and we will make this field as a unique. So if in case we put any duplicate name, it will give us the error. Then we have the category here, and this will be the foreign key of our category. Here the type will be mongos.schema.types.object_id. Then we have the reference, and we will pick the reference from our category model. And here we have our category model.js file, and it will give this reference here. That means this is the type of this category model. Then we have that product short description. Here we will put product short description, and type will be string. Then we have the required true. Then we have the product description, and type will be string, and the required will be false, and we will only make short description as a true, required true, and for the long description we will make it as a false here, and we will make it as a optional. Then we have the product price, the type will be number. Then we have the required true. Then we have our product sale price, and the type will be number, and required we will make it as a true, but here we have to make it a default value also, that is 0. Then we have the product image, and the type will be string. Then we have the product SKU, and the type will be string, and the required we will make it as a false. Then here we have our next field, that is product type, and we have two type of product. First one is a simple product, and second one is a variable product. The type will be string, and the required we will put as a true, and default value we will give here simple. Then we have the stock status. Here type will be string, the default value will be in. That means product is in the stock. Then after that we have to do some modification to our toJSON. That means whenever we get any JSON from this model, there we have to do some transformation in our response, and for that we will put a toJSON. Here we have transform function doc return, and before that we have to put a curly brackets. Then here we will put return dot product ID is equal to return dot underscore ID dot toString. So what we are doing here, in the response we always get underscore ID, that is the product ID, but we don't want to show any underscore ID. Instead of that we have to rename the variable as a product ID. For that we are just assigning that product ID with this response, and that return underscore ID dot toString. Then we have to delete this ID from the request, delete underscore return dot underscore ID. Then we have delete turn dot underscore v, and there is also one variable that is underscore double underscore v that is also coming in the JSON that we have to remove. So now our model file is ready. So from here we will just export the file. Module dot exports is equal to, here we have to put product, so it will export the file. So now we will move further, and then we have to create one service file for our product service and all. For that we have to go to our services folder, and from there we will create new file, products.service.js file. Here we have to import that model file for product is equal to required /models/products model. Same, we have to copy this again, paste here, and here we have to do for that category also, category. Here we will put category. Then we have to import our MongoDB config for our pagination size and all. We will put here constant mongo_db_config is equal to required. Here we have to put the name of the file /config/app.config. Then here we have to create some function here, and our first function is async function create product. Here we have to put the parameters. Then we have the callback. Here we will check if not of params.product name. Then from here we will return callback, and the message we will put here message product name required. In the response we will pass here empty, and same we have to do for the category also. We will copy this and we will paste here, and here we will check if not of params.category. Then we will return here callback category required. After that we have to create that product model. Constant product model is equal to new of product params, and from here we will call product model dot save. Then here we will return the response here, then response. From here we will return callback null, and here we will pass that response here. And here the first parameter is null, that is that error, and in the second parameter we are using the response which is coming. Then we have to do the catch also. If there will be any error, catch error. From here we will return callback. Then we have our error here. So what we are doing here, we have created one function that is create product, and from here we are just passing two parameters. First one is a params, then we have the callback, and here we are checking if that not of params dot product name. Then we are just passing the message as the product name required. Same we are doing for the category also. If we are not passing any variable for the category, then we will return here that message for category required. Then we are just getting that variable for product model is equal to new of product, and we are just passing that all the parameters here. Then we are just calling the Mongos, that is product model dot save. This is the Mongos command save. Then we are just checking here whatever the response we are getting, we are just returning back from in the callback, and the catch also we are just returning the callback of error. So now we will create our second method, that is for getting all the products here, and we will create here async function get products. Here we have two same parameters params, then we have the callback, and here we have to create one variable constant product name is equal to params dot product name. Then we have constant category id is equal to params dot category id. Then we have to create one more variable where condition is equal to empty, because here we have to put two conditions. First one is for our product name, then second one is for our category id also. Here we will check if we are getting that product name, then we will append the condition here. Condition here that product name, that field name, product name is equal to, here we are using the regular expression here, regex, new of regex, and here we will pass product name, and we have the options here on the what basis we have to search it. Here we will pass I, and we will close the semicolon. Then we will check another condition if category id, then we will pass here condition category id is equal to this category id. Then here we have to create two more variables, that is let per page is equal to math.aves params dot page size. If we are not getting anything here, we will pick from our Mongo's config dot page size. Then we have to create here let page is equal to math.aves params dot page. If we are not getting anything here, we will pass here default 1. Then we have to put here -1. I already explained this, what we are doing here in our last to last video also for the category API also. So if you have not watched that video, you can watch that video to have the understanding how that pagination works. So basically we are just passing a per page. That means how many record we have to show in the particular page. Then here we are putting the page number like 1, 2, 3, 4. On the basis of that, total number of record will be shown. Then here we have to put product.find. Here we have to put the condition here. Then here we have to put the variable name, that is which all field we have to show. That fields we have to put here. So we have to show here product name. Then we have to show here product short description. Then we have to show here product price. Then we have to show these field also. And here we have to remove all the comma because we don't need to put any comma here. We just need to put the field name, then the space, then we have to put the second field name. Here we are using product name, product short description, product price, product sale price, product image, product SKU, product type or stock type. All these fields we have to show in our response. And one more field, that will be product ID. Then we have to also pick the category also. For that we have to put here populate. And here we have to pass the model name, that is category, and what all field we have to pick for that category, we will put here category name and category image here. And here we have to put the limit here, limit per page. That means how many record will be shown in one page. Then we have the skip here, that will be used like per page into page number. So it will be like if we have that per page of 10 record and we have total record of 20. So now in the first page we have that 10 record that has been shown. So if we move to our second page, in that case first record of 10 will not show into our second page. In the second page only shows those record which are not shown in the first page. Then we have our this code and we will paste here for response back that data which is coming here. And here we have return of callback for the response we are getting. Then we have the response for our callback for the catch if we are getting any error here. So now we have to copy this function and we have to paste here for our next function, that is async function get product by ID. Here we have to just change it to ID and we will change here also. And here we have to remove all the conditions here. Instead of putting here find, we will just put here dot find by ID and we will just pass the ID here, that is product ID. So in case here also if we want to pick any specific fields that we can put here. So in our case we are just picking all the field here, we are not putting any specific fields here. And we can put here populate for picking the categories detail also for that particular product. And for the limiter skip we don't need here. So now our this function also ready. So now we will move further and we have to copy again this function and we will paste here and we will change it to update product. Here we have the product ID and here we have to change it to find by ID and update. Here we have to pass the product ID and we have to pass these parameters also. Then we have to put here use find and modify false, and this code is not required. And here we can check here if not of response. If we are not getting any response, we will just call here callback and we have to put the error here cannot update product with ID. And here we have to put the ID here $, and there we have to put the ID here product ID. In the else condition we will just return this callback and rest of the code is same. So what we are doing here, we have created one function for update product and there we are just getting the product ID. Then we are just calling here find by ID and update and there we are passing the product ID. And here we have to pass check here if we are not getting response, that means that product ID is invalid here. And we are just in the case of else condition, we are just returning our response here. In the catch, we are just throwing the error here. So now we will copy this function again for the last function, that is for delete, and we will change it to delete product. And here we will change it to find by ID and remove. And we have to put here only product ID and rest of the code is not required. And everything else is same. So now our last function is also ready, delete product. So now our product service API is ready. So now we will move further and then we will create our middlewares, that is for product uploading and all. So before moving to the middleware of that product uploading and all, and we have to add here module.exports, and here we have to define all that function name which we have created. First one is a create product, then we have that get product, then we have our get product by ID, then we have our update product, and the last one is a delete product. So now we will go to our middleware. We will create the new file here, product.upload.js file. Here we have to create one variable, constant multer is equal to required multer. So that packages and all we have already covered in our previous video in the category API. So if you have not watched that video, you can watch the video. Then we have our constant path is equal to required path. Then we have to create one variable, constant storage is equal to multer dot storage. Here we have the destination where we have to upload the file, function request file callback. From here we will call the callback here null as error. Destination will be ./uploads/products. So if you see here in the uploads folder, we have that product folder also, and there we have to upload all the images. Then for the file name, we have to create the function request file callback. Here we have callback null date now plus hyphen. Then here we have to put the original file name, file.original file name. So now we have to create one more variable for our file filtering and all, and there we will check over the file extension. Here we have constant file filter is equal to request file callback, and here we have to create one variable, constant valid extensions is equal to, here we have to create the array for all the valid extensions. First one is a .png, then we have our .jpg, then we have our .jpeg. From here we will check if not of valid extensions dot includes path dot xname file dot original name. It will check here in our array collection if that file extension is matching or not. If it is not matching, we will return here callback new error only .png, .jpg and .jpeg format allowed. Same we have to do for our file size also. Here we have constant file size is equal to parse int. Here we will get that length of the file from our request.headers. Here we have to put that content length. Here we will check if file size is more than 1048576, that means more than 10 MB. Then here we will return callback new error file size big, and here by default we will return here callback null, and the response we will pass it true. Then we have to create one function, let upload is equal to multer storage. We will pick from this variable storage. Then we have our file filter, we will pick from this file filter. Then we have our file size, we have to put the size here, this one. Then we have to call here module dot exports is equal to upload dot single. Here we have to put the field name, that is product image. So what we did here, we have created one file for the product.upload.js file, that is a middleware. Here we have created few variables. First one is a storage, and we are just picking from the multer.disk storage. There we are just defining the destination where we have to upload the file, and here we have to define the file name. Here we are checking here the file filter and all, and here we are checking if that file is in a valid extension or not. If not, then we are just throwing the error from here. Same we are doing for the file size also. If that file size is more than 10 MB, then we are just throwing here callback here for the file size big. And here we have our function, that is upload is equal to multer storage we are passing, file filter we are passing, then we have our file size also we are passing here. Then here we are just doing the module.export upload.single, and here we have to pass our product image. So now let's move further and we will do that integration of the service file with our controller file. And for that we have to go to our controller folder. Here we will create a new file, products.controller.js file. Here we have to import two files. First one is a constant product service is equal to require /services/product.service. Then we have our constant upload is equal to required // middleware / product.upload. Then we have to create the function for our create product. Here we have to put here exports dot create request response next. Now here we have to use the middleware for the uploading and all. Here we have to call upload request response function error. Here we will check if error. Then we will move to our next middleware. In the else condition, we will create one variable constant path is equal to, and here we will check if request.file is not equal to undefined. Then we will pick from request.file.path.replace / and 2// then we have the \g, and we will replace it with our single slash. In the else condition, we will just pass here empty. Here we have to create a model where model is equal to product name, and we'll pick from the request.body.product name. Then we have the category here, and we will pick from the request.body.category. Then we have the product short description. We will pick same from the body also. Then we have the product description here. That one also come from the request body. Then we have the product price, come from the request body dot product price. Then we have the product sale price, request dot body dot product sale price. Then we have our product SKU, request dot body dot product SKU. Then we have our product type, request dot body dot product type. Then we have the stock status. We'll pick from the request dot body dot stock status. Then we have our product image, and we will check here if path is not equal to empty. Then we will show here slash plus path, else we will show here empty. And from here we will call product service dot create product, and we will pass the model file here. Then we have our two parameters. First one is the error. Then we have our results here, and this bracket we have to remove from here, and we have to put here. And from here we will check if error. Then we will return here next error. In the else condition, we will return here response dot status 200 dot send, and the message we will show here success, and the data we will show here results. So what we did here, we have created one function export.create. Inside that we are just using our middleware upload function, which is in our middleware class, that is product.upload class. Here we are checking if there will be any error. We are just throwing our to our next middleware with the next error. In the else condition, we are just checking here if we are having the file selected or not. If selected, we are just replacing that slash here, and in the else condition, if there is no file, we are just making it as empty here. And here we are creating the model with the product name, category, product short description, product price, product sale price. Then we have the product SKU, then we have product type, stock status, then we have our product image. And after that we are just calling here product service dot create product, and there we are just passing the model file. Here we have our callbacks functions for the error and the result. Here we are checking if there will be any error. We will return here to our next middleware. In the else condition, we will just put here status code 200, and we are just sending the message as a success and data as a results here. So now we will create another function, and we will put here exports dot find all is equal to request response next. Here we will create one model is equal to product name request dot query dot product name. Then we have our category ID. We will pick from our request query dot category ID. Then we have our page size request dot query dot page size. Then we have our page, request.query.page. And then we will copy this line of code and we will paste here. Here we will just call here get products. Here we have to pass the model and the rest of everything will be same here. So what we did here, we have just created one function for find all, and this will be used for getting all the product here. And here we are doing the filtration part, that is with product name, category ID, page size and page number. Then we are just calling here get product, and if we go to this function, and here you can see what we are doing. We are having product name, category ID, and we are just checking the conditions here. If we are having that product name or category ID, then only we are just passing in our filtration. So now we will copy this function and we will paste here, and we will change it to find one. Here instead of putting product name, we will remove everything. We will just show here product ID, and this one we will change it to ID, and this one we will change it to params. Here we will change it to get by product ID, and rest of the everything will be same. So now we will copy the create function for our update function. Here we will change it to update. Then here just we have to pass one variable, that is product ID, and that also we will pick from our request.params.id, and rest of the parameter will be same. There is no need of change here. Then here we have to change it to update product, and rest of everything will be same. So now we will copy this function, that find one, and we will paste here. And this one we will change it to delete. And here we have that product ID and everything, and here we will change it to delete product. Rest of everything will be same. So our controller file is also ready. So now let's move further and we will do this controller integration in our routes and all. And for that we have to go to our app.routes.js file. Here we have to just copy all this code which we have covered in our previous video for the category API and all. We will paste here, and here we have to just show here product, and here also product. And here we have to copy this line of code. We will paste here, and we will change it to product controller, and here we will change the file to products. So now here we will just change the reference with our product controller. So now everything is working fine here. So now our API is ready. So now let's move further. So in our previous video, we just covered the Swagger part and we did all the testing with the Swagger. So in case you don't need to create any Swagger, you can also do the testing with our other method also. And that method we will cover today by using our VSCode plugin, that is Thunder client. So if you want to download, I will put the link in the description. You can download it. So now we will do all the testing with this plugin only. So now we have to test our APIs, and for that we have to first run our server also, and we will open here and we'll put here NodeJS. So now we are getting here ready to go, database connected. So now our database connected and all. Now we will run our new request here. And so first of all we have to run our get all product API, and for that we have to put here localhost :4000 /API/product, and here we will not pass anything. We will just click on the send request. So here we are getting the message success. Data we are getting empty because we don't have any data. So now we will run our post request here, and here also we will put localhost :4000 /API/product. Here we will change it to post request, and here we have to change the body. Inside the body we have to use our form data because we have to upload the files also. Here we have to select the file. Then now we will put the field names here. Product name, we will put here test product. Then we have to get a category. So before adding any new product, we have to call our get request for the categories so that we can get the category ID and we can paste here. For that we have to click here new request. Here we will change it to localhost :4000 /API/category. Now we click on the send request. Here you can see we are getting multiple categories here. We will copy just one category ID here. We will picking here bakery and biscuit category, and we will paste here that category ID. So now we will put the short description, test short description. Then we have that product description. Then we have our product price. Then we have our product sale price. Then we have product SKU, product type, stock status. And here we have our product image. So now we will add data here. Test description, product price we are putting here 500. The sale price we are putting here 250. SKU we are putting here 123. Product type we are putting here simple. Stock status we are putting here in. Now for the product image we will select any image here. So here we have selected the image. So now we will click on the send request. Before that we will go to our category folder or product folder also. Here you can see we don't have any data in the product folder. So now we click on the send request. So here we are getting some error. So let's see what the issue is. So we are getting error in this path argument. So here issue seem to be in our product.upload.js file in the line number 17. So let's see what the issue is. So here seem to be that spelling mistake and all. And here also we have to change it to original name. Same we have to copy here and we will paste here. So now let's try, is it working or not? So now if I click on the send request, here you can see here we are getting a success here, but the image which we have selected is not coming in a proper way. So let's see what the issue is. So here the name should be in the lowercase and it should be file name. So now let's save it and let's try again. So here you can see that the product image has been successfully uploaded now with the proper file name, with that also with the extension name also. So now our create product API is also working fine. So now let's test it with our filter and all for the get request. Here in the get request we can put the filter for product name. We will put here any random name. We click on the send request. Here we are not getting any data. So now we will put here test. We will click on the send request again. Here you can see we are getting two data here. So now we will put one more filter here and we will name it as a category ID. Here we have to put the category ID. First we will put the invalid ID here and let's see will it give the result or not. So it is giving the result here. That category ID filter is not working fine. So let's see what the issue is. And for that we have to first go to our product.controller file. Here we have our find all and here we are putting category ID. Let's see in the service what we are expecting over there as a parameter. Here in the get product we are expecting the category ID but it is not working. Let's see. So here the issue is instead of putting a category ID we have to put a category, because if I go to our product.model file, here you can see we are having that variable name as a category, not category ID. So we have to make sure we are putting the correct name. So now we will change it to our product.service file and here I will change it to category and we will save it. Now let's try again. So here you can see we are not getting any data because I have added the invalid category ID. So now I will change it to valid category ID and I will click on the send request. Here you can see we are getting only those data which is having the same category as this product having the same category for both the products. So that's why we are getting two data. So now let's add one more data with a different category. Let's edit this category to the new request and we'll click on the send request. So this product has been created. So now we will go back again. Here I will change it to the new category ID and I will click on the send request. Here you can see we are getting only one data here on the basis of that category ID only. So that's mean our get request and our create request both are working fine, and also we can try with that getting the data only with the single ID also, and for that we have to just copy this product ID and we will remove all this data. We will put here backslash, then we will put here the ID of the product ID, and this API will be for get product by ID. Now I will click on that send request. Here you can see here we are getting a data for that particular ID, and here we are getting all the data because in our service file we have not added any condition to pick only those particular field here. That's why we are getting all the data here. So that means our this get product by ID is also working fine. So now let's test the last one, that is our delete product and all, and for that also we will copy this one and we will paste here. We will change it to delete. So So now let's see how many products we have in our database. If I click on a send request, you can see here we are having 1, 2 and 3. So now I will remove one product here and I will change it to a delete request. So now if I click on a send request, again if I remove this, and we will change it to get request to see how many data we are having in the database now. So here you can see we are having only 2 data in our database. That means our delete API is also working fine. So that's all in this video. I hope you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share. I will come back soon with another awesome video. Thank you for watching the video.